Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and for this hour, we will be talking about business idioms. Here is the material we will be going through. We will be looking at different types of business idioms that people use pretty much on a day-to-day basis. So we will basically look at some idioms, then we will have a talking point and we will discuss these idioms, and then we will look at more idioms, and then we will have a talking point and discuss the idioms. And then if there's more time, then we will go through a discussion on investment opportunities. So this is definitely a business English course. And so I look forward to working with all of you who have a need and a desire to learn business idioms. Again, my name is Holly. Let me show my face now. Hi, Adela. Hello, Adela.
Hi, Holly.
Hi. So you actually normally you take this class at 11 o'clock, but you went to an earlier
But
class.
tomorrow is Saturday.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did you already eat though?
Tomorrow is I don't teach.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to worry about being up late. Oh, excellent. So, Walter, welcome.
Hi, Holly. How are you doing?
How are
Thanks.
how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent. So, are you a soccer player?
No, no, no. I can play football, but I'm not a professional soccer player. It's not,
Okay.
not
You just
yeah. I follow the
just
football.
hobby.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I am
So,
not.
what team is the best in the world right now?
And for me, the Real Madrid is the best at the moment. The best,
Who?
yeah.
What team? I'm sorry.
The Real Madrid from Spain.
From Spain, Ranaville.
Real
Mo
Madrid.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that team, but but it's a Spanish team. Okay. All
Yes.
right. And does Spain now? How often is the World Cup? Is it every 4 years?
4 years, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
so it's not every year. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how little I know about football. So
Yeah. I
and
am from Argentina, so I hear the football is very important
uh-huh,
for the people and the culture too.
yeah, yeah. Well, as you know, we have here in the States, we have the American football, and I know a little bit more about American football, but not much. So
Yeah, so it's not the same, but
yeah, so all right. So and yeah, Argentina. So it is probably what about, is it 7 p.m. there?
and it's 7 p.m. in Argentina. Yeah.
I'm getting it figured out. So in
Yeah.
Spain, it's 11 p.m. where Adela is,
Yeah.
and Ozma, is it midnight or is it 1 a.m. where you are?
It's 1 a.m.
Oh, I'm getting it figured out. Yay! So so it's 3 p.m. where I am, and so it's for you guys it's quite late. So
Yeah.
so anyway, it's your Friday evening, Walter. So
Yeah, my friend. Yep.
awesome.
We are in
Yep.
summer really at now, so it's really the 29 degrees Celsius. So
Wow.
it is hot.
Uh-huh. Now, are you guys all also on summer vacation? Are many people in your area taking vacation right now?
Yeah, in January and February is vacation time frame here in Argentina. So a lot of people has traveled to the coast.
Uh-huh. Is
So
that also the same in Brazil as well?
yeah, sort of thing. It's not my case, but
Okay. Okay, because I've noticed a lot of the Brazilians who have been taking my classes are not not in
Yeah.
class right now. So I'm thinking, and I didn't realize it, but somebody from China said, well, maybe they're on vacation right now because it's summertime. So.
Yeah.
So awesome. Okay, this topic is business idioms, and idioms are important regardless of whether you're in a business or not. So, but these idioms are specifically used pretty much every day by business people. So, um, now, Adela, work at a trade school, correct?
Yes, it's a vocational school.
Yeah,
Uh,
vocational school. Okay.
yes, they
Yeah.
are medium degrees.
Uh-huh.
Also the high school,
Mhm.
but they are types of secondary too. It's a
Mhm.
mix.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking. And then Ozma, you work in journalism, right?
Yes, editor, yeah.
Okay. And Walter, what industry do you work in?
Yeah, I'm system engineer, so I'm working at the consultant company. So
Okay. A consultant. Okay. So I think that all three of you will notice some of these idioms that you can actually use in your workplace, or in Adela's case as a teacher, you can relate it to many of your students. So these are common idioms in business, and some of them are actually used outside of the business world as well. And if they are, I will tell you. So what we're going to do is we're going to match the underlying idiomatic expression with their correct meaning. So what we're going to do is we're going to read each person. I'll have you read a sentence, and then we will match it to the meaning down here. And then we will practice using them and a talking point. So we have the definitions for these idioms are, I will read these right now. A, agree or accept something. B, creating an obstacle or delay in progress on production. C, everywhere, applying to everybody. D, finish for today. E, make someone who you have not met before feel more relaxed. F, net income or loss. G, save money or effort by finding cheaper or easier ways to do something. And H, stop doing something that is already failing in order to reduce the amount of time or money that is being wasted on it. So these are the definitions. Are there any words here that you guys do not know? Are you fine?
yes, I found.
I'm believing the silence means we're fine, Holly. So let's go ahead and read this. Adela, could you read the first one?
There is more demand for the product than supply. This causing a bottleneck in our production.
Okay, what I want you to do, Adela, if you could read this a little bit slower, because what you did, you were reading it fast and you actually missed a few words. Could you read it slower, just a little?
Yes, there is more demand for the product than supply. This is causing a bottleneck in our production.
Perfect.
Is B, creating an obstacle or delay in progress or production.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. And this word, as far as pronunciation, this word is a supply.
Supply.
And then we also have bottleneck. So the T,
Bottleneck.
bottleneck, yeah. Supply and bottleneck. Perfect. Okay. Asma, can you read number 2?
Outsourcing customer service can improve the bottom line by reducing costs.
Okay.
Mm,
And this one is costs. So there's
cost.
no costs by reducing costs. So, okay, and what one is that one?
Save money. G.
The bottom line isn't saving money, but it is about money, though.
Stop doing something that's already failing in order to reduce the amount of time or money that's being wasted on it. H.
No. Let's see. See the bottom line for that one, it's usually the net income or loss, the last amount. So outsourcing customer service can improve the bottom line by reducing costs. So the bottom line is the bottom. When you look at an income statement, it is the bottom line. It's the bottom thing that you see. Does that make sense?
Is the minimum price, for example, you can offer? Or,
No.
Because if you reduce, maybe the costs are more than the benefits, is not good.
Well, actually, it has to do with accounting. Let me show you an income statement example. Okay, here we have the bottom line. For example, here's an income statement of a company. Okay, right here. Bear with me a moment. Okay, this is an example of an income statement. Okay, so these are all this is all supposed to be numbers. Okay, now the bottom line is the very last line on the income statement, and this usually is the net income or the loss. And this is usually what the people in businesses care about. This is what all companies are wanting to look at.
The balance, no, about.
The balance between costs and benefits, yeah, but it's also the last amount of money. So, but anyway, in this respect, in this example, outsourcing customer service can improve the bottom line, can improve the amount of money we make by reducing costs. So that's net income or loss. So that's a hard one if you're not working directly in finance. But we have somebody new here. Let Runger, is that how do you say your name? Light Ranger?
Yes, hello.
Hi, how do I say your name?
It's a nickname. My name is Rashid.
Rashid, okay. And I love your picture. Is that your child?
No. But he's a bit similar.
Yeah, okay. Because that is spaghetti, right? Spaghetti on the head.
Yeah.
So, okay, Rashid, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, all right, let's go on. So we were talking about the bottom line, which is hard for some people to understand. So let's go to the next one. Rashid, could you read number 3 and see if we can match that? And we will help you as well.
Yes, of course. So she was a bit cold, so he made a little small talk to break the ice. Okay. To break the ice, yeah.
To break the ice. Anybody know what that would be, to break the ice?
Yes, during a relationship, when someone don't want to talk to each other, or if you enter in a place and there is several people and no one's speaking, then someone is giving a joke for the people laugh, and after that he's breaking the ice.
Okay, that is letter E right here. Make someone who you have not met before feel more relaxed. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Rashid, are you good at breaking the ice?
It's depending on the context, but generally yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm easy in the relationship, so I love
Okay.
when people are laughing and a funny place.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it as well. All right, let's go to the number 4, and welcome, Jose.
Hello,
nice to see you
Holly.
again.
Nice to see you.
Excellent. All right. So, Walter, could you read number 4?
Yeah. Number
Sorry,
4.
can you share your screen again, because I have a black screen and
Okay. What you need to do, because it's already showing, so what you need to do is press on my name, Holly.
Yes.
And you should be able to see it. And
No.
do you still see it?
Just to see your picture, maybe I have to leave the room and to come back.
Okay. Can you see it now?
No.
Okay. Let me try.
Let me go out and I will see.
No. Another thing you can do is I can give you the link, and then you can. Let me get that.
I am with my
And I don't know why
tablet,
there's.
so I don't have.
Oh, that's why. A lot of times on tablets they don't show that, and I've.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I have the wrong. Actually, the wrong link.
I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Sorry.
Okay. And we're using the different material than I had pressed on the material. Oops. Oops. Okay. All right. So, Walter, could you read number 4?
Yeah. We need to get on board with social media. Everyone else is doing it.
Okay. And what would that be?
Let me check. Agree or accept something?
Yeah. So if you get on board with something, you are definitely you are agreeing or accepting something. Okay. All right. Number 5. Jose, can you read that one?
Okay, Holly. We need to reduce budgets in every single department. There will be cost cutting across the board.
Okay, so across the board.
Yes.
So what does across the board mean?
Across the board. The letter H, stop doing something?
No, it's something.
No?
There will be cost. So we need to reduce budgets in every single department. So there will be cost cutting across the board. So what would that be? Across the board. Anybody want to help?
Across the board is reducing the cost in every department.
Yeah, in every single department. So it would be
everywhere.
Everywhere, applying to everybody.
Yes.
So
Letter C.
Yeah. All right, and so across the board can be everybody. If we're going, for example, a company that I I was working at a year ago. they announced across-the-board layoffs, which means every single person in that company or in that location where I was working is losing their job. So they're closing down, and it was across the board. So, okay, number 6. And Rashid, can you read that now? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay,
Which
good.
number exactly?
Number 6.
Number 6. So the meeting is not over yet, but I'm a bit tired. Let's call it a day and continue tomorrow.
Okay. And what would that be?
Let's call it a day.
So what is let's call it a day?
Let's call next time? No?
No?
Let's stop something like to stop today and we will continue tomorrow.
Yes. So we'll finish for today. So if you call something a day, you finish for the day. Okay?
Okay, let's call it
Excellent.
today.
Finish for today.
I don't understand, in fact, the origin of this idiom. Let's call it a day. Why call it a day? What's
I don't know,
the
frankly.
origin? No? Okay.
Yeah, no, I've never really studied the origin of specific idioms. Some of them I know. Some of them everyone knows, but this specific one I have no idea why we would say it that way. So, all right, Walter, can you read number 7?
Yes. We've been running the project for 2 years and there's still no profit. I think we should just cut our losses and start something new.
Okay.
The letter is H. Stop doing something that is already falling in order to reduce the amount of time or money that is being wasted on it.
Exactly. Okay, so if you're going to cut your losses and stop doing something. Okay, and then number 8, Adela, could you read that one?
They try to cut corners during the construction of the bridge. Now it is falling down. Maybe G is no, I think it's
Yes.
only rest.
It's only one. Yeah.
Money or effort by finding cheaper or easier ways to do something.
Yes. And the best example of that, maybe you guys have heard about this, maybe not, but back in 1996 in Seoul, South Korea, there was a bridge that collapsed. And there was a shopping center that collapsed. And both of them collapsed with people died. And the reason they collapsed is because of the contractors, when they built the bridge and the shopping center, cut corners. Yeah, they cut corners, and they also bribed the inspectors that came. So they cut corners, and then they bribed the inspectors, and then these buildings came down. So I don't know. Do any of you guys remember that from the news?
Yes, I remember sometimes in a building, but I don't pay attention. Sorry.
I didn't pay attention. Yeah, and I was living there at the time, and it's the only reason I remember. So it was in 1996, 1995, 1996. So, okay, let's discuss some of the following questions. All right, Walter, have you ever needed to cut corners in your work? What happened?
And at the moment, I haven't need to cut the corner really in the work. I don't have experience related with cut the corners.
So you've never cut corners, okay? All right. And Rashid.
But with my personal economy, a lot of time I need to cut the
corner.
corner. Yeah.
Okay. So in your work you don't, but in your personal life you do.
Yeah,
Oh, what? That's right. I was going to tell you guys which one of these idioms are used on regular day-to-day. The bottom line is business English. Break the ice is general English. Get on board with something is general English. Call it a day. We will use that also in general English. We will actually use a lot of these. Cut our losses, cut corners in general English.
And bottleneck, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
In
All of these.
Spain is same on use sometimes in traffic.
Oh yes. Okay.
When they are 3 lines after you have only 1 line, or it's a bottleneck.
Yes, I think the only two that we don't use a lot of times outside of business English would be the bottom line. Usually you're talking about company profits or company loss when you're talking about the bottom line, and then across the board. Those are the only two of these idioms that we don't use in personal life as well. So good, Adela. You're right that people do use things that are causing a bottleneck in personal life as well. So, okay. All right. Rashid, have you ever needed to cut corners in your work or personal life? What happened?
Not personally, but my employer used to cut corners.
Uh-huh. How did you feel about that?
That makes a lot of pressure in the team, and also concerning all the project that I am in charge. So reducing to reduce how can I say, to reduce trying to get project without any effort is the finality of this way is still the same.
So trying to get the product without any faults.
Sorry?
Wait, repeat what you said.
Trying to get money without any effort by cutting corners.
Oh, got it. Okay.
The end is still the same in every task or in every context. In every context or any project, you will have necessary automatically several problems. Because when you yeah, that's all. It's a bit difficult to explain that in a business context, but the idea is.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. All right. All right. So, Jose, have you ever needed to cut corners in your work? What happened?
No, I don't have ever needed to cut corners in my work.
Okay. So, yeah, because you're a teacher.
Yes.
Right. So I'm thinking the only way you could cut corners is writing reports, and maybe you cut and paste. Cut and pasting, and I don't know if that's cutting corners or not. So awesome. Ozma, have you ever cut corners in your work?
No, teacher. But teacher, just I want to remember to cut corners. It is to save money or effort by finding cheaper or easier ways to do something. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you're doing is a lot of times that people maybe they'll instead of following the process that has been laid out for them, maybe they'll do something else. that might be the end result will be the same, but it might not be as good quality.
Mhm.
So,
No, but
all
I
right.
think in business, maybe it's in business, people need to catch corners, I think, more than other
Mhm.
jobs.
Yes, I think especially like in production or I don't know, Walter, you're an engineer. Do people need to cut corners sometimes in production or engineering type
Yeah,
jobs?
a few times when you can cut corners in engineering, but in a few materials, a few things, and you can't take that because you can impact in the final result.
Mhm.
So you can't you can modify the context, but not the, the key pieces in the
Mhm.
project.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Adela, how about in
Yeah.
your situation? Have you ever needed to
Yeah.
cut corners?
I think is general in the local government cut corners of the
Mhm.
public school. I think
Okay.
they reduce the money. They reduce the number of teachers.
Uh-huh.
I think is less quality of when we teach. I think is a cut corners
Mhm.
in education. Also in healthy, I think is same
Mhm.
to education.
Mhm. Okay. So they're cutting corners by not hiring the amount of teachers they need, and so they have more teachers per student than they should have.
Yes, is increase the number of students for class, the ratio,
Mhm.
and they maybe increase the hours we teach, and
Mhm.
they don't take new teacher when one is retired.
Mhm.
Is not substitute.
Mhm. Okay. Now this word is as far as pronunciation, we would say
Retire, retire,
retired.
retire.
Retired.
Yes, for the retirement is not
Yeah.
substitution.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I've heard about that in companies as well, and that's in order to save money. So, all right, let's go to next question. Jose, we'll start with you. What do people talk about when they want to break the ice in Spain?
The people talk about the weather, for example, about
Mhm.
the family,
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm. Okay. So weather and Adela, would you agree? In Spain, do people talk about the weather and
Yes,
family, or is there anything
uh,
else?
maybe the weather. If you uh, um, is more time, for example,
Mhm.
this weather evolution to the climate change
Uh-huh.
because or the pollution because yes, it's different. Years
Mhm.
ago, the evolution, the conversation about the change, climate
Mhm.
change,
Climate. I
climate
say climate
change.
change. Yeah. All right. Okay. And Walter, how about in Argentina? What do people talk about when they want to break the ice?
Yeah, the culture here is similar to Spain.
Mhm.
So the um, these examples apply to Argentina too, but
Mhm.
it's normal here that people do a show, a high level show to other people in order to break the ice. So,
Mhm.
for example, and tell an A story and a comic history. So
Mhm.
the common behavior here in Argentina. So,
Okay.
or for example, drink a beer is other act to break the ice. For example,
Mhm.
invite and the other person to drink a beer or drink a coffee. So to do something different that's normal to break the ice.
Okay. And Asma, how about in Tunisia? What do people talk about when they want to break the ice in your country?
About everything.
Yeah.
About any news, any update, about their private life, means family, university, anything, you know.
Okay. All right. All right. And next one, number 3. Oh no, I'm sorry, Rashid. I thought you were the one that left. Rashid, remind me again what country you're from.
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
Remind me again what country you were from.
France.
France. Okay. And
France.
what do people talk about when they want to break the ice in France?
What do people talk about when they want to break the ice in your country? In France, yeah, they always speak about bad joke.
Tell a joke.
Yeah, means some stuff about sexuality and something like that.
So they, in order to break the ice, they tell a bad joke to get people to laugh.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of it, some joke for adults person. You understand?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So some type of joke that might not be good in every company, but so that might work.
But in France, it's totally normal. They are not upset by that.
Yeah, where in the U.S. it would not be appropriate. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, not. It depends, of course, on the company. It depends on the people that you're in. But a lot Americans are a bit more uptight about certain topics than in Europe. Europe's a lot more reserved than the U.S. is about things. But in the U.S., what a lot of times it it might just be a person coming in and starting to talk to other people. It depends on what the situation is. But I've learned just asking people questions. So, how was your day? You know, that type of thing. Okay, let's go to number 3. Asma, what things can cause a bottleneck in your work or business?
Okay, what things can cause a bottleneck in your work? This means create an obstacle, yes? Obstacle,
Excuse me?
yes? Creating obstacle?
Yeah. So
maybe sometimes when a correspondent send me a story, but missing some important thing to write or to edit the article. This is really, for me, it's an obstacle, because sometimes the correspondent don't answer me when I call him, and I have to send or to publish this article, and I need to this information because it's very crucial for the article.
Okay. Yeah, so that can definitely, if somebody sends you information or sends you an article with incorrect content, you know.
Of responsible or in personality. famous personality, and I have to check with him. So yeah, missing the name, yeah, it can make me in trouble.
Yeah, and it would be a bottleneck because, you're the middle, you work with the writers, right? And then you send it on. So that could be a bottleneck. Yeah, definitely. Rashid, how about in your company or job? What do people talk about when, no, what things can cause a bottleneck in your work or business?
What does it mean, bottleneck?
Okay.
I forgot, sorry.
A bottleneck is usually when there's an obstacle or a delay in progress or production, and the best example is in a excuse me, I was gonna is in a factory. Is the best example, and in a factory they will they'll be, in order to produce one item, they have to have all the items together. And if one section is slow, every other section of the production has to wait. So here's an example. This is the neck of the bottle, and so let's try. Let's type in bottleneck, see if we can get another example. Traffic. Traffic is the best example.
Okay, bottleneck. Okay.
A bottleneck in production. So this is a bottleneck right here, and everybody's trying to get through. And but in production, it's because you're waiting for one aspect, and they're slow. So see, let's try bottleneck traffic. Let's try in production. See if we can find another.
Yeah.
This could be a bottleneck. This is the final product, and if this line is slow, then it causes these to have to wait for this line to get done. So that is an example.
What is the purpose of the bottleneck?
What is the purpose?
Yeah.
Well, it's for example, in the picture I just showed you, you have in this picture right here, production, right here. So you have, bear with me a moment. This isn't working. Oh, okay.
Maybe don't have a purpose. I think it's a problem to design.
Yeah.
3 lines is after 1 line, but it's a problem, or need to have a exhaustive control about a specialty, a person with a very very specialty, or
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so because if this line is slow, then these two lines have to wait for this line. So a bottleneck isn't like, I think Adele is right. There isn't a purpose to a bottleneck. A bottleneck is a problem. So
Yeah.
if your company
a reduction
has,
of the business flow.
yeah, exactly, because they have to wait on one person. Like in Ozma's situation, she has to wait on her writers to respond to her emails or her phone calls.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any bottlenecks in your work or business?
Yeah. Currently, we have one because I'm working as a consultant for a multinational company, and we are in a project, a very hard project, and we meet a lot of bottleneck in the process in the business flow,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
causing by the separation of the team.
Mm-hmm.
We are working geographically in uh, three cities, very
Mm-hmm.
separated. I am working in the south of France. We have another team working in Paris, and
Uh-huh.
another one working not so far from Switzerland. So
Uh-huh.
the team is splitted
Mm-hmm.
in three positions, and the
Mm-hmm.
communication in the team is very bad. So
Mm.
we are always facing of
Mm-hmm.
several issues, and the communication is so
Mm-hmm.
bad that we are always we are not meeting the deadline,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
we 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 took a lot of late. Yeah, I
So,
can say that
so
we took a lot
so
of
it took a
late.
lot of late. No. So we
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 are
are
very
late a
late.
lot. We are late a lot.
Yeah, we are late a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the main problem of this project. So the bottleneck is created only by that.
Mm-hmm. Because
The,
you're having to wait on one person or one group or and back and forth.
yeah,
Which great example of a bottleneck. Excellent. Thank you. Jose, how about in your school? Is there any things that can cause a bottleneck in your work or business?
Yes, I think that there are a lot of students per class, I think.
Mm-hmm. And just having
It is a bottleneck.
so what kind of bottleneck? Could you explain it again?
I think that there are a lot of students in a class.
Okay, so too many students in the class?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
think that there are too many students in the class.
And so having too many students can
Yes,
cause a bottleneck because it's hard to grade
yes.
everything. Okay. All right. And Adela, how about you? In your a work or business, what things can cause a bottleneck?
Sometimes in the classroom, if we have a lot of students, as Jose say,
Mm-hmm.
the problem is when you need to do uh, practice contents because you need to do or to take something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have you need to cut the group because if you don't have um, as engine or as device
Mm-hmm.
one for each one, no, for two is the problem. If
Mm-hmm.
you increase the number, you don't buy materials.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem to have. You have a bottleneck because you have students don't have anything to do,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
or three
Yeah.
or four
Yeah.
device is not good because
Mm-hmm.
they don't use mm, all people. It's a
Yeah.
problem.
And also, I think if you have people with different abilities in your classes, the people with
Yes,
the
you
slower
try,
ability can
yes
cause a bottleneck.
you try to do different things, no,
Mm-hmm.
to have people, but sometimes I have coworkers
Mm-hmm.
say me when I have free time
Mm-hmm.
or only control to help because to help them because
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of student is necessary to control them, because if they need to solve a problem or etc., you need to control, to have people inside in class, no, to help or to help. Is the problem, no, about I think.
Okay, I can understand that. Excellent. All right, let's go to the next question. Is your company getting on board with new internet marketing methods? So, Jose, how about in your school? Have they gotten on board with social media?
Yes, I think that nowadays all the schools are getting on board with the new technologies, with internet, something like that.
Okay. And is it the same also, Adela, in your school?
We have Facebook groups and Twitter and social media and Moodle platform to communicate with the students, or to have a virtual classes, maybe to yes, I think today is necessary to be getting on board of the social media.
Okay, excellent. All right, and Asma, how about your company?
Emails.
Have they gotten on board with internet marketing tools or social media?
Yeah, social media like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What else? Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Rashid, how about your company? Have they gotten on board with new internet marketing methods like social media?
Getting on board. Sorry, I forgot again.
Okay, let's go back to that. If you get on board, what you do is you agree or accept something. So you basically has your company accepted the new internet marketing methods? Have they accepted social media as a new way of communicating? So to get on board with something
Yes.
is to accept. Yeah.
The recruitment department uses internet several internet marketing methods to find new profiles. They are using LinkedIn, Viadeo, and several website, French website or American website.
Okay, excellent. I like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great.
Yeah,
So,
me too, yeah.
Yeah.
Very simple and ergonomic.
Excuse me?
Very simple. And ergonomic.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah, very simple and economical. Yeah. Economical. Okay. All right, let's go to number 5. And number 5, Rashid, in what ways can your company improve the bottom line? Any ways your company can improve the bottom line, and that's the net income or loss.
Can you go up, because yeah, it's which number is it? Bottom line.
It's number 5.
Line.
Number 5.
No, about the definition.
Sorry. The definition. Okay, that would be number F. Letter F. Net income or loss.
In what ways can your company improve the bottom line?
So the bottom line is basically the profit.
Yeah. um, by increases the activity time of the of and signing new contract without hiring new
people.
employees, new people. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say instead of increase the activities, I would use production. Increase the production of the employees. And activities, it sounds like activities is bowling, basketball, stuff like that. But production makes it more business oriented. So, okay, all right. And Ozma, how about you? In what ways can your company improve the bottom line, or basically increase their profits?
Because it's not it's a news agency, and it's related to the government. So so it's not they are not looking for profits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not an area that your company really.
Maybe they want to increase the productivity of employees, more articles, more quality of articles. Yeah, maybe, this is the purpose, not profits in terms of money.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you're working for a private company versus a government company. The private company will make decisions in order to increase their profits or to improve the bottom line. That's the reason they make the decisions. But it might not be the same with government companies or government, companies sponsored by the government. So, Jose, how about in your school? Do you guys care about the bottom line?
I think that the school have reduced the number of teachers, because when a teacher is retired, they're
not replaced.
Yes, don't replace another teacher.
That's actually what Adela was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Adela, is there any other ways that the school tries to improve their bottom line?
Maybe if you improve the quality or the results about the students is a good way to improve your bottom line. No about the benefits, no about the income, because for example, in my case, I'm a civil servant, is a public school, and don't pretend to have benefits, to have money. Is a social activity, no? And I think it's more important to increase the knowledge in the student, the results, etc. And maybe after that they have possibility to have a good job and don't have unemployment, etc.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you all for your participation. I hope you learned some new idioms, and if I don't see you again, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Polly. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.